Hi, this is Tina from Inner Delight, and welcome to another We Uplift moment. And here I am. I'm calling in from the Netherlands, and I'm connecting with our beautiful Sunwolf, who is in Washington. Are you in Washington State or just in
Wa-
between there?
Washington State, between Seattle and Spokane, in Apple Country. It's beautiful. I'm so happy, and life is phenomenal, as you
It
can see.
is indeed. And I would love for you to share a little. We were talking a little bit before about, first of all, you have a great passion for wellness and for consciousness and conscious chocolate. And, how is that connecting with the relationship between masculine and feminine? How can chocolate help to balance that relationship between masculine and feminine?
Well, wow. I've never been asked that question, but the first thing that comes to my mind is this: is with the chocolate, with men giving a woman chocolate, men just have to be there with nothing going on and listen and watch and observe the goddess in her bliss, in her enjoyment, and be able to just be there and hear her express. Because the woman loves to express, and they could go on many different tangents. So it's really important that men just be there and not try to kind of fix the woman, but to be there and just hear whatever it may be. It may be an explosion of anger, an excitation of joy, whatever it is. As long as we're there in that precious moment, then that soon will dissipate and a new moment occurs. Otherwise, nothing moves forward. So this is quite interesting. And chocolate is about joy, and chocolate is about peace. And I wanted to share something interesting. There's so many coaches out there. Would you agree? Lots of coaches. A coach for
Mm.
this, a coach for that. And I have recently been working with some coaches with the chocolate. Now, imagine this. You're my client. I see this person, okay, maybe a marriage counselor, whatever. And I would say, look, John, look, Mary, we're going to do something different. Oh, you okay? You're willing to play? Yeah. Before we start, I'm going to give you this piece of chocolate. I hope you have no allergies. And usually I hear this chocolate, you don't get allergies. But I'm going to give this to you, and I'd like you to enjoy it now. And when you're finished, we'll continue. Is that okay? So what the coach looks for is how the person takes this, receives it, and are they paying attention to it? Do they look at this beautiful wrapper, this gold wrapper? It looks like a treasure chest,
Mm.
Wow. And do they smell it when they open it? And do they really let it sit there in the mouth? And what the coaches notice in 95% of the cases is they're just not present with it. They take it, they open it. So basically, the analogy is if you could take that aspect and be still with it, with your partner, with your friend, with who you are in the moment, in the stillness, in the admiration of this time together, magical things happen.
Mm.
It's really easy. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. I am not a prolific reader, I must confess. I am a prolific life experience person. I've traveled for a long time. In fact, I just was away for 11 months, last year. I didn't know I was going to be away so long. I thought I'd be away a month to 2 months. What I did was I just followed the thread. I went here, I went there, I connected. I see friends, I hang out, and I knock on the door and I say, hello, I'm home. So it's about being home inside.
Mm.
That's what can be home anywhere.
Mm.
When I come visit you in your place, I'm going to say, Tina, I'm home. Do I have to know somebody for months and years to feel that? I felt that instantly with you, with Jackie. You're a kindred spirit. We're from the same tribe. So I say to folks, find your tribe.
Mm.
Find that resonance. Because when you do, they will be your reflection and mirror that reminds you of your love for you.
Mm. I love it. We'll have a chocolate party. And actually, speaking of chocolate party,
Right. Right, we do have the chocolate party on October 20th. And what's going to be neat is there's going to be people in the room, and Stephen has asked everyone to bring a piece of, I was going to say a morsel, a piece of dark chocolate. It would be neat if they all had mine, but it would be difficult. And we're going to just have fun and do maybe a guided imagery and just enjoy the art of enjoyment and the art of participation. And you know how you got these wine connoisseurs, there's an art, and there's an art of that too. But not getting into the head, just opening up the heart.
That is so awesome. I think what you're bringing up there is that, I mean, chocolate is something that so many people will really, really enjoy, but they're probably oftentimes eating it unconsciously. By what you're sharing here is giving them an opportunity to enjoy something that they already really liked, but experiencing what happens when they taste it consciously, so to really feel all the sensations. It's like the taste, the smell, the feelings that it brings up in the body, and being able to share that. That is, oh, I love that.
Man, I feel like having it right now. But you know what is so cool? Now notice this ring. This is my cell phone, but even the ring. It's all about ambience. It's all about creating atmosphere. Isn't that cool? So even down to the ring and what kind of an environment are we creating?
Yeah.
So even when my phone rings, see, I'm in the moment right now with you. Even when it rings, I sometimes just let it ring because I enjoy the sound. And people say, Dave, Sunwolf, I love that sound. Where's it coming from? Or they will cut close to me and say, Sunwolf, what are you wearing? You smell so great. And I'm into essential oils. I'm into all wonderful things that are good for us. You know, isn't that cool?
Well,
So,
and I love that you as a man are sharing these things that many of the women can totally relate to, because I love chocolate, I love essential oils, I love taking care of myself, and being able to have a man here in the world who is sharing this with others, giving them an opportunity to connect with that side in themselves without losing that masculinity, because oftentimes you see men feel that if they go down that path, they become, well, we have all kinds of labels, right?
well, exactly. And it's interesting you say that. And I'm just so blessed. John Gray, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. I know him personally. I promoted him in Vancouver before he wrote his famous book, Men Are From Mars. And the book he wrote before is What You Feel You Can Heal. And he said to me, you know, all men have a feminine, masculine, and the feminine never comes out very rarely with men. And he gave me he really honored me, gave me a wonderful compliment. He said, David, I really feel you're feminine and you're very comfortable with that. And I think that's so important to really bring that element out. And that's a part of who we are. And I got to tell you, what was very interesting that happened 2 days ago. So I like to bring things in present time. So I'm working out, and I happened to connect with his beloved one day, and then him the next day. And he said, I want to ask you a question. May I? So I'd like to ask for permission. I have no time to talk about the weather. When was the last time you acknowledged your partner and said something really nice? Something like, I appreciate what you're doing around the house, or I love you. He couldn't remember. Couldn't remember. So I said, like I said before, are you willing to have fun? Why don't you, when you come home tonight, say something you haven't said to your beloved and see what happens. I see him the next day with a big smile on his face. He said, David, I couldn't believe how happy she was. What a way to get a lot of points, by the simple things that come from the heart, not the things we buy that come from outside of us. It's so effortless. It's so easy to do, you know, and to be. And we yearn for that, men and women. Isn't, you know, and it was so cool, and it's incredible. I mean, here I was at a show the other day, and this lady's trying on this clothes. So I said to her, well, does your beloved, is he saying anything about it? You know, and she says, he never mentioned anything, doesn't give me any compliments. I mean, whoa. Let him know how you feel, you know. I mean, I'm into people. I'm into how people relate. And I think men would be more masculine when men are more vulnerable and men are more, interesting when they are really playing with their heartstrings and share what's really going on. It
Mm.
creates instant intimacy, instant close. Isn't that what it's about?
Well, but isn't that where the greatest fear is? And so, how do you think that? I think the chocolate. I just got to come back to this chocolate, this conscious
Okay, let's
chocolate.
go back to the chocolate.
Let's
I thought
go
we
back
finished
to
with
the
the chocolate.
chocolate.
Okay.
I,
Chocolate to the people.
well, because chocolate is sometimes maybe something that let's just call it. There's a low barrier there for people to be able to eat chocolate. They're going to do it anyway. But when they do that with conscious awareness, it will really help them to connect in a much deeper way, right? So maybe that will open their heart more easier and therefore feeling safe to be in that space of enjoyment without feeling guilty.
It's a wonderful ice opener, and I love the way you could use this on so many areas in our life. And that's why I say how we eat chocolate is how we eat life. Is
Mm.
how we do one thing is really how we do almost everything.
Mm.
So again, women, would they prefer flowers or they prefer chocolate? And what if it's a good, yummy chocolate, yummy for your tummy? What if it could really help them by feeling good about themselves? What if they could even sleep better? What if they could even think better? What if they could even become slimmer, give away those excess pounds? Because people say, I'm not going to eat this. I have to stay away from that. Even when I say to them, it's not the chocolate you're eating, it's something else. The brain does not process that as something different.
Mm.
We've been so indoctrinated, so great, it's so interesting. So when we are in that aspect of being indoctrinated, let's take how we are in other areas in our life, where men are supposed to be this and women are supposed to be that. Is that the truth? Or when men introduce my partner as, by the way, in fact, I'm noticing men are addressing their partners differently than just, I want you to meet my girlfriend. I want you to meet my wife. Well, don't they have a name? So now they're starting to say, my life partner. I'd love you to meet Jane, my beloved. And this is after eating a piece of this healthy chocolate. It wouldn't happen. I mean, they get creative. You get creative when you're eating something of a high frequency, cold pressed, low heat food. It's a superfood. You're not going to get this from eating Costco chocolate. I mean, it's such a sensual. It's so sensual. It's just the things you could do with it. Anyways,
that's another.
That-
That's
for
another video.
show. That's for another. But we need to get out of the way. We need to really open up and know that as much as we enjoy that, let's also enjoy the touch of each other.
Mm.
How many men hug each other? They're not comfortable. How many people know how to hold their partner? The human touch has no equal.
Mm.
So so that expands, it opens up for people to be more safe, people to trust more, people to realize, saying I love you or enjoying healthy chocolate and expressing it has no boundaries. It's not a cultural division. It's a universal love. And that's all there is. And yet chocolate is going to take us there even in another way.
I love it. Well, for people.
It's so cool. This has been, by the way, Tina, I thank you, because you know what? I am a visionary, and for me to share this with you and have others is really wonderful. It's really, really wonderful because I don't go out there and talk to hundreds of people. I did in the past. I'm a low-key, simple kind of a guy, and I'm just starting to learn about social media and Facebook. It's such a whole nother world.
It
And
is.
I'm learning to love it. It's a whole new way of communication. And then I'm saying we mustn't forget the voice, the words, the sound. Let's give that a change from always digitizing. Let's bring things back to how we were in the first place.
Mm.
Connection, community.
Beautiful. You know, and people will find you on Facebook. You're interacting on Whispering Energy page. I have seen you there, and it's always a joy to read your messages. And they can connect with you on your own page on Facebook, which is Conscious Chocolate. And for people to purchase this divine goddess chocolate, they got to go to ultrahealthychocolates.com. And I love connecting with people who have a passion for life and doing what brings them joy. And you definitely share that. And it's such a joy to be spending time with you. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And then people will get a chance to be a part of me as well. Chocolate is just,
Yes.
yeah. Thank you.
Yes, and please make sure that you post on Facebook on the Whispering Energy. Let us know about the event in sacredground.us by Dr. Stephen Marcus. That's going to be a fun event, and people will be able to experience connecting with each other in that way. Maybe if you post it early enough, or with the website where people can get the chocolates, then maybe everyone could have that chocolate and have that
Great idea.
experience at the same time.
Great idea.
All right, well, until the next time, many joyful blessings.
Blessings.